The man who confessed too soon. Detective Liora Hayes had seen plenty of strange cases in her 11 years with the Metro Investigative Bureau, but nothing quite like the one that began at 7:14 a.m. on a fog-stained Wednesday morning. She'd barely stepped into the precinct, coffee still too hot to drink, when the front desk officer waved her over with a bewildered expression. "There's a guy in interview room 2 asking for you," the officer said. "He walked in 5 minutes ago. Says he wants to confess." "To what?" Liora asked. "That's the thing. He won't say until he sees you." Liora felt the stirrings of something unusual, always a dangerous sign. She set her coffee down, straightened her jacket, and pushed an interview room 2. The man was already seated, mid-40s, clean shave, crisp gray blazer, well-pressed slacks. He didn't look like someone here to confess anything. He looked like someone on his way to a job interview. "You must be Detective Hayes," he said with a tight smile. "My name is Adrian Keene. I'm here to confess to a crime." Liora remained standing. "All right, Mr. Keene. What crime are we talking about?" His smile vanished. "The break-in at Newford Brokerage last night." Liora blinked. That case had just dropped on her desk an hour earlier, still marked preliminary. A silent alarm had triggered at 2:37 a.m., reporting unauthorized entry into the secured records room of the financial firm. Nothing was stolen. No cameras were disabled. No suspects identified yet. It barely qualified as a crime scene. "Interesting," she said slowly, "because that information hasn't been made public." "I know," Keene said, "because I did it." He folded his hands on the table, as though waiting to be complimented. Liora pulled out a chair opposite him, sat, and studied his expression. "Calm. Controlled. Too controlled. Tell me exactly what you did." He recited a timeline with unsettling precision. When he entered the building, where he moved, what he touched and didn't touch. Then he leaned back. "I think that covers it." "Mr. Keene," Liora said, "nothing was stolen. So why break in? That's irrelevant." "Not to me." He hesitated before answering, as if weighing his next words carefully. "Because I wanted to be caught." That was when Liora knew something was off. Not just unusual, but deeply wrong. By mid-morning, Liora visited the actual crime scene. The records room showed no signs of forced entry. The only anomaly was a stack of folders left slightly crooked on a shelf. No fingerprints, no footprints, no disturbances except that tiny detail. She crouched beside the shelf and observed the folders. They were placed in near-perfect alignment, except the top one. It was slid exactly 1 inch forward, as if someone wanted it to be noticed. Inside were financial statements belonging to a single brokerage client, Everett Holdings, a name Liora recognized. They'd been audited for suspected tax manipulation 2 months earlier, but the investigation had been quietly dismissed. Her instincts prickled. Back at the station, she returned to the interview room with the folder in hand. Keene's eyes flicked to it, just briefly but enough. "Why this file?" she asked. "No comment," he said. "So you didn't move it?" He stared at the table. She narrowed her eyes. "Mr. Keene, I need the truth. If you enter that room, you left no prints, no evidence, no path of entry, and yet you confess. So either you're lying, or you're telling me something you're afraid to say outright." A muscle in his jaw twitched. Liora decided to gamble. "Who's threatening you?" His eyes snapped up, and she immediately knew she was right. In a low, strained voice he whispered, "Detective, I didn't break in. I wasn't anywhere near that building." "Then why confess?" "To draw you in. To get protection. I couldn't just walk in here and say $1 billion corporation is laundering money. Nobody would believe me." "Everett Holdings," Liora said. He nodded. "Are you an employee?" "Former. I was a data architect. I discovered certain irregularities." His voice trembled. "I reported them to internal compliance. 6 hours later, 2 men showed up at my apartment. They didn't touch me. They didn't have to. They showed me photos of my sister on her way to work. They told me not to talk. Ever. And your plan was to falsely confess to a crime? It was the only way to get you to listen. If I said I was a whistleblower, they'd send someone to shut me up. But a man confessing to a break-in? That gets a detective." Liora exhaled slowly. "You understand that filing a false confession is a crime in itself?" "Yes." He raised his chin. "But it's better than ending up dead." From that moment, the case pivoted. Using the timestamp Keene provided, Liora cross-referenced building logs at Newford Brokerage. Every entry was accounted for, except one. An unregistered badge pinged the door at 2:37 a.m. It was a ghost credential with no assigned user. That alone was suspicious. Then came the surveillance footage. 1 second the hallway was empty. The next, a flicker, a shadow like a glitch, and then the records room door swung open. Someone had digitally tampered with the frame-by-frame feed. Whoever set up the break-in wanted it to exist without being traceable, and they wanted Keene to stay silent. Liora briefed her captain. Within hours, a quiet joint task force was assembled to look into Everett Holdings, the ghost badge, and the tampered footage. Federal auditors reopened the company's books. Meanwhile, Keene was placed in protective custody. 3 days later, evidence emerged that executives at Everett Holdings had paid independent contractors to break into Newford Brokerage to destroy files linking them to illicit transfers. But the contractors botched the job. They couldn't find the correct folder in time and left it behind. In a panic, the executives cleared their tracks and planned to pin the event on a scapegoat if needed. They didn't expect Keene to walk into a precinct first. On a cool Friday morning, Liora returned to the safe house to give Keene the news. He looked thinner from stress, but his eyes were steady. "You were right," she said. "About the laundering. About everything." He exhaled shakily. "So what happens now? You'll testify. You'll be protected. And the people who threatened you will face charges." She offered a rare smile. "You did the right thing, even if your method was unconventional." He managed a small laugh. "I guess I confessed too soon. Or just soon enough." As she stepped back outside, the sun was rising over the street, burning off the early morning haze. Another case closed. Messy, unexpected, but resolved. Sometimes justice arrived in strange packaging. And sometimes the man who confessed too soon was exactly the man she needed to hear. Subscribe at Crime Scenes.1 for more jaw-dropping true crime narratives.